Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Better Ever After podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Ritza, and of course, this is the podcast that's meant to help you get a little bit better each week. Whether we're talking about movement, recovery, nutrition, or just the mindset, tactics, and strategies that are going to give you the incremental changes that are going to get you closer to where you want to go. And in this week's podcast, we're going to be talking about our relationships with our families, our partners, our business partners, our coworkers, our kids, and we're going to talk a little bit about conflict and one of the strategies, or really one of the sayings that I use and I'm trying to use to get better at picking my battles and making sure that when there is conflict, it is worthwhile. What I hope today is going to do is help you be a little bit happier and hopefully help strengthen those relationships by making sure that when we do choose to get into a conflict with somebody, that it's really worthwhile. So we all have those moments throughout our day, whether it's we're in a restaurant and somebody brings us the wrong order, or we're discussing with our partners how we want to raise our kids, or we're in a meeting where we have a difference of opinions. And the saying that I learned from a colleague last year and that I'm trying to use as much as possible is this the hill that I want to die on? And I always try my best to use this saying and to take that mindful second or two to think before I speak, to gather perspective, and make sure that the words and the intentions that come out of my mouth are going to be as purposeful as possible. Because I don't think I'm the only person who has this issue, but I tend to find that a lot of the conflicts I have are my desire to just be right, to show that I'm smart or show that I know stuff, to have value or to bring value at work or in a relationship, or sometimes you're just feeling righteous and you want to be right. And what I've come to believe is that all of these little conflicts, if they go on and they're unnecessary, they can slowly chip away at the integrity or the value of our relationships, where we're no longer showing love, empathy, and a good intention to those that we're around, and selfishly wanting to get into an argument just to be right. There are, of course, times where conflict is really, really good and we're getting into a fight, an argument, or even a heated discussion can be really valuable, especially if you think you're morally justified or that the argument is going to achieve some net benefit for the both of you. But what I think we can do when we take that second to figure out, is this the hill that I want to die on? Is this a situation where I want to dig in on the trench, where I want to put in a lot of effort, where the outcome is really, really, really important either for me or for the group, and figure out if the intention and the energy I'm going to put into this potential conflict or argument is worthwhile. And I find often in my life that when I take this second, and oftentimes I do forget and it doesn't go in the right direction, but often when I take this second, usually I'm much more pleased with myself and pleased with the outcome. It can be such a situation as you're at a restaurant and somebody brings you a slightly altered meal or menu from what you asked for, and often I just say, whatever, I'm going to eat this because I take everything into perspective. The food's probably going to be just as good. It's probably going to be something new I haven't tried before, and it might work out even better. Sometimes when it's something in the practice, it might be a disagreement between a business partner and I, and it might not be worth going into the argument because, hey, maybe we'll try things his way, we'll see how it works out. Now, of course, there are going to be times where you dig in and you think that you are right, whether it's something that's going to challenge your integrity or, in my case, the well-being of a patient or a practice member. That's where I will show my teeth and I will fight because I think that it is the right thing to do. But in those situations in life where it's a petty argument or a petty discussion or something that's just not worth fighting over, when you step back, when you take that perspective, figuring out, is this the hill that I want to die on? And I think the more that we can collectively do this as a society and where we can individually do this more in our day, I think that, again, it's going to make us happier. It's going to strengthen our relationships where we don't chip away at it a little bit each day, but actually build onto it. And I think it's just going to make us more fulfilled because of those good relationships. So the next time that there's some conflict in your life, whether it's with your kids, whether with a boss, a family member, whoever it might be, ask yourself, is this the hill that I want to die on? And if it is, go for it. But if it's not, take a step back, take a big breath, and you might want to just let this one go. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Hope the podcast wasn't too rambly this week. Thank you for tuning in. I would really greatly appreciate it if you could share this podcast with somebody that you love. I could care less if you go on and leave a review. It'd be really, really nice. But if you could share this with somebody and help somebody out who probably needs to hear this, that's what I would really appreciate and value. Dr. Alex Ritza, guys, I'm signing off. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I might see you guys next week with an off-schedule podcast about some chiropractic-related things, but we'll wait until then. Take care.